In 1996, one of the most valuable storytelling empires on earth ran out of money. Not a bad quarter. Not a rough year. Bankruptcy. The company that owned Spider-Man, the X-Men, and the Hulk could not pay its bills. And a decade later, it would sell for $4 billion. This is the story of how Marvel almost died, and the single financial maneuver that brought it back. Marvel wasn't built on money. It was built on imagination. Through the 1960s, a small team in a cramped New York office created a universe of characters that would outlive them all. But owning great characters, and running a great business, are two very different things. And by the late 1980s, Marvel was about to learn that the hard way. In 1989, financier Ronald Perelman bought Marvel. He took it public, and used it as an engine for debt-fueled expansion. Buying trading card makers, sticker companies, and distributors, piling borrowed money on top. For a while it worked, because comics were booming. Speculators bought up issues by the crate, convinced they'd be worth fortunes. It was a bubble. And in the mid-90s, it burst. Comic sales collapsed. And Marvel was left as a heavily indebted company, sitting on a market that had evaporated. In December 1996, Marvel filed for bankruptcy. What followed was an ugly war for control, between Perelman and corporate raider Carl Icahn. Two billionaires fighting over a company neither could fix. And here's the tragic irony. Marvel had already been selling the film rights to its greatest characters, cheaply, just to raise cash. Spider-Man. The X-Men. The Fantastic Four. Licensed away to other studios. The company was liquidating its own future, to survive the present. The rescue came from an unlikely place. A toy company. Marvel's toy partner, Toy Biz, run by Isaac Perlmutter and creative chief Avi Arad, used its leverage in the bankruptcy to take control of Marvel itself. Perlmutter was ruthless on cost. Arad was convinced the characters were worth billions, if Marvel would stop renting them out, and start building with them. But building films costs money Marvel didn't have. So they did something Wall Street had never quite seen. In 2005, Marvel struck a deal with Merrill Lynch. A $525 million facility, to finance its own movies. The genius was in the structure. Marvel put the money inside a separate, bankruptcy remote subsidiary. So if the films flopped, the losses could not sink the parent company. It was non-recourse. And the collateral wasn't cash or buildings. It was the film rights to 10 characters. If the first films failed, Merrill could take those character rights, and nothing else. Even then, Marvel would keep its merchandising money. They had engineered a bet where the downside was capped, and the upside was an entire cinematic universe. One of the most elegant pieces of structured finance in entertainment history. The first film they made themselves came out in 2008. A gamble on a second-tier character, and an actor Hollywood had written off. It became a global phenomenon. And the foundation of the highest-grossing franchise ever built. 1 year later, in 2009, Disney bought Marvel for $4 billion. The company that couldn't pay its bills had become one of the most valuable properties on the planet. Marvel's comeback wasn't magic. It was structured finance. A company that finally learned to treat its imagination like the asset it always was.